With Game of Thrones ending after 8 seasons, literally everyone in the TV industry is trying to adapt a TV show from some big fantasy or sci-fi book series. There's a ton of these shows in development right now that have that next Game of Thrones buzz surrounding them, so let's take a look at a few and figure out how to tell them all apart. This Netflix show, based on a series of Polish fantasy novels, and definitely not the video games of the same name, is guaranteed to make a lot of gamers on the internet yell about boycotting Netflix. What else can you ask for? Except for Henry Cavill wearing a really terrible wig. The Wheel of Time is an epic 14-book-long series about a young boy from a small village that gets pulled into a prophecy. Sound familiar? It's because everyone else was copying this one. Expect witches, magic, monsters with animal heads, and plenty of gender politics. Netflix's take on the classic series seems to be aiming towards a cinematic universe type of creation. Expect lots of talking animals and probably an orphan or two, maybe a witch, maybe even a lion. Probably no wardrobes though, it's hard to fit those in the budget. Based on, but not directly based on, Alan Moore's famous graphic novel, this show is being helmed by infamously mysterious Lost and Leftovers creator Damon Lindelof. The show is set to air in 2019, and it looks pretty promising. Lindelof himself even compared the show to the Holy Bible, which definitely sounds like something Damon Lindelof would say. Based on the same books as the classic Schwarzenegger movies, this is yet another of Amazon's attempts to catch the Game of Thrones wave. There's not much out there about this show yet, but there should be a lot of skulls, spears, yelling, and I would put money on a buff dude or two. A second chance for a really good book series that was butchered by Daniel Craig and his friends in 2007, this series focuses on a girl named Lyra Belacqua, which is just really fun to say. It features James McAvoy, Daphne Keane, and some guy named Lin-Manuel Miranda. Isaac Asimov's Foundation was partially inspired by the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. If that doesn't put you to sleep, then this series might be right for you. Expect a lot of sci-fi, big ideas, math-related future-telling, and plenty of space travel. Since Apple is bankrolling this one, you can expect better effects than we were able to pull off on our budget. For me, this one is an exercise in not being too pessimistic about something, but it's hard to imagine an Amazon series holding up against some of the most celebrated fantasy movies of all time. But hey, it's an Aragorn origin story, which is, you know, something everyone wanted and needed. This is that vampire movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, but without Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. Anne Rice is heavily involved in the show, so fans of the books can rest easy. Finally, HBO is saying, hey, if it isn't broke, just set it 2,000 years in the past and do 8 more seasons of it. If you love Game of Thrones and you want to know more about that guy who got stabbed in the chest by a weird elf lady in a flashback in Season 6, then this is the show for you. And there you have it. So what decision will we make as a viewing public? Will one of these shows be the next big cultural touchstone, or is it all just a big fantasy? Or science fiction?